Hi everyone, I'm Colin. Nice to meet you guys. You can scan this QR code if you want to connect on LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever. In fact, you can even book my calendar. So I try to make myself scalable, but sometimes you have to do these in-person things. So I love doing in-person events. So if you decide to come to San Francisco, I'm your guy. Just hit me up, say, hey, I'm coming to SF. What hackathon should I go to? There's a hackathon every single weekend, and invariably I'm hosting them or sponsoring them or doing something, or sometimes just hacking in them. I hosted a hackathon 2 weeks ago. We rented 89-foot yacht, and we had 50 people, and we basically had a great hackathon on the bay. So everyone had to make commits while using Starlink internet on a boat. So I like to do fun events, so if you're not having fun, come talk to me. I think a few new people walked in. I work for Nebius. I'm a developer advocate. So I flew out here because I love agents. I've been a DevRel for about 10 years now, but I started focusing 100% of my time on agents right about December 2024, like January 2026, 25, launched Agent Camp. And so I've been doing nothing but agents. So if you want to talk to someone that's been doing agents I might not be the longest in agents, but I'm really dedicated. And I think like it's interesting to think like why are agents so hot? It's like, well, it keeps doubling in attention. ChatGPT was the fastest growing application ever, and now somehow OpenClaw outdid that. And now Hermes is now top ranked above OpenClaw. So it's changing constantly, but like this is the new ChatGPT. This is the new, like we've already been through the ChatGPT revolution. Now we need to expand into agents. You know, my personal AI is something that I like to work on. I also do a lot of OpenClaw events. But I want to show you Token Factory, so I'm going to do a little presentation about Token Factory and make sure you guys get your credits. So up front, I want to say like you can go scan this QR code, or is it? It's in my other slides. So here's my more official, I'm going to give you a workshop. I'm a developer advocate. You can find me online again. That website again, you can always remember colin.chat. And you guys probably already signed up for the Builder program. So if you've already signed up, you don't need to scan it, but this takes you to our new Builder program. We just launched this. It's like, hey, we need to make something that's easier for people to get free credits. Like Google and all these AI companies are giving away lots of free credits. So we also need to match that, but we actually don't give away like unlimited free credits for people at $20 a month. You pay as you go. So I'm giving you $100 in addition to the $50. So the Builder program should get you $50. So you can get more by signing up for more of my programs. We also have this $100 credit over here for if you like have a problem. If you signed up with a Gmail and you got rejected by the Builder program, I'm sorry. We're just trying to prevent fraud because in the Builder program we also have AI cloud credits. Everyone likes to sign up with bots to try to use our GPUs. So we filter out Gmails. If you still can't get any credits, just come to me and I will give you a promo code that you can add in your once you've got your promo code, I also will give you a quick instructions on how to use those promo codes. So once you've got your QR code, you're going to actually go into the tokenfactory.nebius.com, and in the top right corner, you click your icon, that's your profile. Then you see top up, about halfway down, and then when you top up your balance, just choose promo code and paste the promo code in there. So it's not that complicated, but everyone asks me, how do I use this promo code? So that's how you use it. You'll also be invited to, you'll also get some AI cloud credits. They might not come through today, it's a weekend, so they might not approve it, but it should say, you get an email, I think someone already got an email that says, I'm sorry, your promo code is exhausted. I'm sorry, that's for a separate product. That's our AI cloud to get GPU credits. So I'll follow up and make sure you guys get GPU credits. And then also, I'm giving you Tavily credits. So Tavily is web search. Who here is using Claude every day? Who here is using Codex every day? Who's using both? Yeah, okay, jazz fingers, there we go. Thank you for the jazz fingers, thank you. So I also want to show you how you can get out of using those credits that you're spending with Anthropic. Who's reached their Anthropic credit max this week or anytime in the last month? Who's hit their max? Okay, so if you're hitting your max like me, don't buy 4 different accounts. You don't need to do that. You can find cheaper tokens out there. And one of those token sources is Nebius. So if you go into, we have a nice Token Factory proxy. So that if you scan this QR code, it'll take you to a Claude Code Nebius proxy. And this will basically, you're running a little, it's not light LLM, we custom coded it, so it's nice and easy and lightweight. And all you do is you run this on your machine, and now you can use your existing Claude CLI or Codex CLI with Nebius Token Factory. So you don't have to switch to OpenCode. Who here uses OpenCode? Right, okay, exactly. So OpenCode is my favorite because it already has a lot of free models and all sorts of great stuff in it. But everyone's addicted to Claude and Codex, so it's hard to break that addiction, even though they're all similar. So this just enables you to now use Token Factory. Now, once I want to actually see what do I do with Token Factory, this is, I log in, and I can see right on the right, I can get my API key. So first step first, go get your API key right here. Say Emergence or say Claude Code, whatever you want. Copy that API key, save it for later. And then you can also go look at our model catalog, or better yet, go to Inference, and then model endpoints. And you can see all the cool endpoints. We just came out with Minimax M3. So Minimax M3 is like a frontier model from a Chinese open source company called Minimax. And M3 is their latest version. So kind of online with Opus 4.8, I would say. GLM 5.2, a lot has been said about how it's very similar to Opus 4.8. And Kimi 2.7 code, like top of the line. I don't know which one to recommend to you. What I recommend is doing evals. So say, hey, I want to run this prompt across 3 different models and see which one performs better for my task. You can ask your Claude agent, say, hey, connect to Token Factory, test all 3 of these models, and Claude can go and spin up an eval for you. Say, I want to eval 3 different models and see which one's best. Or instead of doing that with your agent, you can just go in here and you can actually do a test right here. So I can say, tell me a joke. And I can say, tell me a joke to, let's say, M3 just came out, so let's ask Minimax M3 and see if I have tokens. Cool, I still have tokens. So why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything. Who's heard that one before? Okay. Want to hear another one? Were you hoping for something with a bit more of an edge? I mean, that's not really funny, but yeah. Okay. Yeah. So comedians kind of doubt themselves a little bit there. Let's ask Kimmy. Tell me a joke. And if the user's asking for a joke, you can see its thought. So if you have, this model actually has thought and reasoning, so you can see the thoughts. The user's asking for a joke. It's a simple, non-technical request. I don't need to use any tools. I can just tell a joke directly. So you can see the thoughts that are happening, which is nice. And then why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field. That's a good Groner one. Okay, so I played around enough. I say, you know what? Kimmy's funnier than M3. I'm going to use Kimmy today, right? So now I take that Token Factory API key, but I also want to grab that model endpoint. So I can go to my model endpoints, click on it, and I have right here Python, Perl, and JavaScript. So you don't need to rewrite the code. You could, if you're a vibe coder, just copy paste one of these into your agent, and you're good to go. Say, hey, use this to connect to Token Factory and use it for inference. The most important part here is the base URL right here. You'll see this base URL is api.tokenfactory.us-central. So we actually have different data centers. And so sometimes that URL is different. So it's good to go and check that URL. There's also a master URL without the data center location in it, just api.tokenfactory.nebius. So you can use either. Just note that you'll see some funny URLs in there. Back to my Prezo. There's also a nice workshop if you guys want to dive in. This is like really detailed, and I'll put this link out on the Slack as well, and I'll try to be responsive on Slack if you have any problem with promo codes. I also have a workshop here if you want to walk through detailed how to use Token Factory to build an agent. That's a good workshop right there. It's actually made by another dev advocate, Suji, who can't be with us today, so I'm standing in for him. I just did my prompt, tell me some jokes. Nemotron from NVIDIA is also a really good one. What do you call a hackathon with amazing food? A success because nobody remembers the code, but everyone remembers the pizza. Pretty good. And then here's GLM 4.7. I have a great joke about hackathons, but it only works on my machine. So you can see, like, that's just one way you could evaluate. Suji's also built something like, hey, let's play a game of Snake and see who can win a game of Snake. That takes a lot more time and effort. You know, how you evaluate and choose a model is up to you. Maybe you want to say, hey, do this emergence task, like build it with one model, and then test it with a second model to see what model handles emergence better. We don't know what will be the best for them. And then if you want to like take a workshop, this is a workshop you guys can dive into. I'll put a link in there, and maybe we can do it later. Another important thing I want to talk about is like why do you use Token Factory, right? There's a lot of providers out there that sell inference, but Token Factory is actually built on top of our data centers. So Nebius started as a data center company. We have AI data centers around the world, and so we're building a vertical stack. So whereas a lot of companies that are selling inference are actually on top of us, and they don't own the infrastructure below. But we actually are the ones tuning the infrastructure, designing the data centers and serving the models. So a lot of the companies with like, hey, we have all these awesome technology, they don't have a way to implement that technology because they don't actually own the hardware. But we own the hardware, and we have all of these like top-notch compliance, but most importantly, we have the best hardware. So we have the V300s and the V200s running behind Token Factory. So that's what makes us faster and cheaper, and also just better performant with higher tokens per second, which is really important. So if you do see any issues with a model, please report it. If you say, hey, this is slow, like I want to know, that's good feedback, we'll go get it fixed, because sometimes even our Token Factory will slow down if we have high usage, because we also have a huge business renting those GPUs, so we're always capacity planning. So this hackathon probably won't, unless someone in here is like a really heavy user, we're probably not, we're probably okay for the weekend, but during the week is when AI gets used quite a bit. Another big point here is that like when you look at the models that are available today, I feel like we constantly see improvements, and sometimes you think like, oh, the frontier models are so far ahead of the open weights models, but that's no longer true. The open weights models have really caught up, and maybe they're 1 to 2 months behind. And so you can basically get what last month's frontier model was now printed out as an open weights model. So you can see Kimi, this slide's already 1 month old, and already the numbers have changed. So Kimi went from 2.5 to 2.7, GLM from 4.7 to 5.2. So there's this constant growth, and it's almost hard to keep up with what the newest models are, but if you want an Opus 4.8 competitor, the Minimax M3 can be 2.7 and GLM 5.2. Another thing that we do for Token Factory is that we have that infrastructure too. So if you are at a company and you're the AI engineer and you start to see like, oh hey, we're spending more than $2,000 or $5,000 a month on inference, if that's like a problem for you, then come talk to me, because we can actually find solutions. Because at that level, if you're spending thousands or hundreds of thousands a month in AI builds, which I work with some startups, they spend $1 million a year in just OpenAI costs. You literally can reduce that by 90%. Now I don't put that on the slide because it's a commitment. I can't guarantee it's 90% less, but you can switch to one of these open weights models and literally reduce your bill by 90%. Yeah, I can't commit to that in writing right now, but we can test it out. Go get started with Token Factory, and I'll give you, there's a tour right here if we want to watch, but I think you guys probably just want to see Token Factory working. So if there's, do you guys need any questions? Anyone got any questions? API key is right here in the top right corner. And then you probably want to grab my Claude, it's called Claude-codex.nebius-proxy. This would be made by our engineers. We haven't released it as a product per se. There's a lot of other models out there that you could use, or a lot of other proxies out there. You could use LLM if you're already familiar with it. You could probably use llama.cp, and you could probably use any proxy that you want. But the reason we made this was because we had an OpenAI compatible API, so sometimes you have to convert between Anthropic and OpenAI compatible, and so this handles that conversion for you. And also, it makes sure that you support tool use in your agents, because sometimes reasoning and tool use will confuse a proxy, so we made a proxy that we can support. So I don't have the slides from the timeline, but one more demo, which is Tavily. So who here uses Google search still? Okay. Who uses ChatGPT and Claude to search the web? Yeah. So we've kind of changed from using Google search to using LLMs search. But the LLMs are not actually doing that search, right? It's not Codex, it's not the LLM that's doing that search. That's actually a separate agent. And a lot of those companies are actually relying on our API. So Tavily is the fastest and most accurate, and that's like, we're comparing ourselves with like Firecrawl and Perplexity and all of these other web search APIs, but we bought Tavily because they were growing so fast. They actually have an office here in New York, and so we posted some events over. Who's been to the Tavily office? Anybody? Someone here has been. Oh, cool. Okay, great. So they're an awesome company, and when you go log in, you get like 1,000 credits for free automatically. But I'm also giving you another $25 of credits that you can use. In order to use that, in order to use that, you will have to sign up put your credit card in, but it's not going to charge you. You shouldn't get charged. So don't worry about that. If you do, make sure to stop using your API after the hackathon and make sure you don't go over that $25. But as far as I understand, it's not going to charge your credit card. But if you sign up for the $25, you're signing up for the free trial. So you can get 1,000 credits right out the gate, and it also has an API playground right here. But it also has a research tool as well. So if you go to the API playground, log in, you can get click on research. This is one of my favorite tools to use because basically it pulls in my API key automatically, and then I can say, will humans replace AI engineers? And let's find out. And so Tavily is not just, when you go into research mode, it's a little different than the web search mode, which is basically scraping and browsing the internet. Research mode is then applying an LLM on top of that. So it's actually going to deliver that Google AI overview type of answer. And so in a sense, it's a combination of the Nebius inference combined with the web search to give you the most recent accurate answer possible. And to avoid those hallucinations is also critical. So we put a lot of work into making this the most accurate and fastest. So now I have a whole entire blog post on whether AI engineers can be replaced, but let's see if it gives us a good answer. So let's see what the conclusion. Automation's already reshaping AI engineering workflow. Blah 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 blah. Yet full replacement of human engineers is technically infeasible in the near term. Thank God. Okay, so we're safe. All right, well, so that's the conclusion. If you have any problems with Tavily and you want to use that, or Nebius and you want to use Token Factory, I will be here and I'll be on Slack. I highly recommend trying the playground first and then integrating it into whatever agent you build today. Vishnu, do you have anything? Do you want to plug in the slide with the timeline slide?
Yeah.